We all watch sport for different reasons, right? Some of us just watch it because we love the game. Some of us just watch it because we're forced by other people, peer pressure. Some of us watch it because we love the team that we support, just the passion of the team that we support. But I've always been fascinated by the characters that are present in the sport. There's a lot, right? But I've just loved football ever since I was a child. And I've started following this man since I was in fifth grade. So let's say 10, 11 years old, around there. And he is my favorite sports person of all time. It's just I've fallen in love with the way he plays, the way the flair that he's brought to the sport, and everything that he's done basically. And I've always been fascinated by the lessons that we learn from these players, what these players teach us, and how we can incorporate them in our lives. So here's like in my opinion, here's three things that I think we all should learn from Neymar Jr. Now, look, he's not the perfect human being. I think we all know that. We all describe him as the guy who never reached his potential, the prince who never became king, blah blah. And he has his own flaws in his personal life too, and he's always known as someone who parties a lot, who doesn't work hard enough, and who doesn't justify his talent. I mean, obviously, he's human and he's not going to be perfect. I think we all should be comfortable with that. But I've noticed three things that I'm going to certainly incorporate in my life that I've learned from him, just life lessons in general. The first one is there's different level of satisfaction when you prove your haters wrong, and you should look forward to proving everyone who doubted you wrong. His whole career, Neymar's whole career, can be summed up by this one quote that I read a long time ago. It went something like, "If nobody believes in you, do it twice and take pictures the second time." And that's something that he's always stood by. That quote defines Neymar Jr. To be honest, every time there were question marks raised on him, I'm not gonna cite games where he's done that and all that. This is not like a statistical video. I'm just talking about my life lessons. Every time there were question marks raised on him, every time there were critics, every time there were questions asked about his performances, whether he's doing the right thing, whether he's not performing, he always shows up and he always delivers. And he always, every single time, he finds a way to prove them wrong. Everybody who doubted him. Um, and then he created this iconic celebration where he just shushes after he scores a goal. I think that's my favorite celebration of his. One of my favorites at least. So he always finds a way to prove everybody who doubted him wrong every single time. Every single time. And he does it with style, which actually brings me to my second point. Always do things in show your flair, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. He always finds ways, he does things with style. And I think everyone should try and do that in their life. Like, not everything with style, but I think it just adds more flair. Like, when you add flair to the things that you do, it just sets you apart from your competitors. It just sets you apart from the ordinary. That's that's why he's got such a big brand. If you compare with other footballers, he's got a very big brand. Um, that's why people call, he's got a very big brand because that's his USP. That's his USP because he does things with flair. He does things with style. Everything about him is, like, if you look at it, right, everything about him is brilliant. The way this fashion sense, the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he plays, obviously that's different. That's different. And I think whatever we do in life, we must always add a bit of a sauce in it. We must always do it with flair, with style. And talking about USP, I think one more thing that I've noticed in him, he actually like has a pretty reserved personality, at least on camera. That makes him a little more mysterious, and that mysteriousness adds to his um, desirability, not in terms of like romantic desirability, but in terms of uh, people wanting to know him more. It just creates more hype because he has a little bit of that reserved personality. He never does interviews. I've rarely seen him do interviews, to be honest. So that sort of mysterious personality of him adds that more hype. So That's just something that I've noticed. I think he's actually done very few interviews, like compared to other people. I've noticed. Yeah. So anyway, the last point, the third one is, it's very cliched, but he never gives up. Right now, his career. I'm not going to, again. It's not a statistical video, but almost every year this guy gets injured. Like it's not normal injury. He gets injured big time, and he's out for a good 3 4 months. It's been happening for the past 3 4 years. He's out every single, and it's not because he's acting. Like, the way he plays, defenders want to break his leg because they don't want to get humiliated. It's as simple as that. And they do break his leg. They do break his leg, and he gets injured a lot, this guy. And those ankle injuries that he gets, they're very hard to recover from. I myself couldn't think of recovering from like a big injury. It takes 5 6 months, and then I would, if that happened to me, I wouldn't even, like, I would have been done. Like, if a big injury happens to me, I would have been like, do I really want to play again? But this guy, he recovers from that, and then he plays football again, and he plays with that same flair, and he doesn't hold back. Once he's, it's a hard knock. It's hard. Being injured is hard. I think a lot of sportsmen would relate to this. Being injured is hard, and when you're out for 3 4 months, when there's surgery and then there's rehab and all that, it's hard. It's very hard, right? And he comes back and he does the same thing. There's no easy. No, when he comes back, he doesn't have that mindset of, oh, I don't think I want to break my leg again. I'm just gonna play safe. I'm not gonna. He is himself all the time, and he manages to bring that flair every single time he returns on the pitch. And then again, he gets injured again, and he comes back again, and he never gives up. 2022 was, people were saying that it's his last. Even he said it. He said that it's his last World Cup and he has to win, but he didn't win. It was very saddening to see he didn't win, but now he's planning to play a 2026 World Cup. So this is just a simple example of, he doesn't give up. He doesn't give up. Like that, he has that mindset. People say that he's very immature, in the sense that he's 32 years old. He still parties. He's cheated on his wife, his girlfriend. He's done so many things like that. But his mindset in terms of his game is very strong. He has that, that tiger mindset of, I'm not gonna give up and I'm not gonna stop coming at you. I think that's something that we all should learn from him. And I mean, it's not just him who has that. There's a lot of football players. But again, that's something that I've really picked up from this guy.